Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Mental Health Impact Series show. Today is season 2 and episode 30. This is our last episode of our second season, and we have a very special guest with us. Before we bring our guest on, a couple of facts for you. Did you know, according to World Health Organization, the global economy loses about 1 trillion US dollars per year in productivity due to depression and anxiety? Did you know depression is a common mental health disorder? Globally, it is estimated that 5% of adults suffer from depression. About half of mental disorders begin at the age of 14. Did you know people with severe mental disorders pass away 10 to 20 years earlier than the general population? To talk more about mental health and some resources that are available, I'd like to call upon Sofie Moenster from Denmark. How are you doing today, Sofie?
I'm good, thank you. Those are
It's
impressive numbers. Yeah.
definitely something that I know you and your organization, with your effortless efforts, you are looking to address. Could you please, let's start this interview today by you introducing a bit about your professional background.
Yes. Well, I'm Sofie Moenster, and I'm working with an organization called HelloMind. We have developed an app that helps people to break down mental barriers. I've been with the company since we began this journey 6 years ago. Where we looked into what kind of things people were, what kind of barriers people had for not seeking mental health help. If they had mental health issues, and now I'm not talking about a big depression, but if you have some kind of stressful situation in your life, if you're dealing with phobia, if you have some sleeping problems, maybe you have been in a stressful period of time and work-wise or something like that, if you have love problems as well, and the main things that people were concerned about, it was time, it was the cost, it was the availability, and then there was this social stigma, so that it was seen as a kind of weakness to seek help if you had some mental health issues.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to address that, because the first step is to break down these stigmas, and just to address that there could be something, because if you don't address it, then where can you start? So
So
we
would
started with that.
Okay, so would you say, Sophie, that it is stigma is the primary reason behind why people who do even acknowledge that they're not feeling very good mentally is the reason why they're not pursuing mental health supports?
It could be the cost, so that it's too expensive, and it could be the availability on if you have to get a psychologist or a therapist, then you have to have an appointment, you have to book it, you have to find a person that you connect to in some kind of way, you have to find the one that provides a treatment method that resonates with you. uh, and then the thing with the stigma as well, I think I was maybe a little bit surprised that it was so big, that people wanted some kind of discretion, and that they saw that it was a kind of a sign of weakness, to seek help. And I think that's like one of the first steps to pass, that one of the first things to tear down, because it's not a sign of weakness to have a mental health issue. I think all people will have mental health issues at some point, and it's about how you deal with it and how you can work with that, to see that challenge and not as a defeat.
Absolutely. What's your educational background? Is it in the mental health space?
It is actually not. It's actually not. I have a master's degree in cultural communication. Yeah.
And how did your career move in this direction?
It did because I came into contact with Jacob Strokotta, our CEO. He's a therapist and has been treating people for 20 years. He'd been treating more than 10,000 people. And he saw kind of the same patterns in these things that people were coming with, phobias, for instance. And he would like to create an app, a digital tool that you could get, so that you could have like, him in a pocket size,
Mhm.
so that he could help more people faster, and that it wasn't just him giving something, but people could access that in the app. So I came into contact with him, and we have a professional board of professors and medical advisors and therapists helping us in the app.
That's incredible. And you said it's been around for 6 years. I know that the company also won a few awards in 2019. Could you speak a little about that?
Yeah, we didn't win.
Okay.
we were nominated for
Nominated. That's
UCSF.
that's incredible though, Sofie.
It
Could you share
was.
more? What category? What was it for?
It was in the two different categories. So for the best mental health and for the consumer wellness category. So it was in a category with Fitbit and 23andMe. So it was these very big companies with us in there. So we were really thrilled that this small company based in Denmark was in the US playing with these really big players. So that was huge. Yeah.
That is huge. Congratulations to you and your entire team.
Thank you.
So, is this app open to only members, people of Denmark, or is it open across the world to every country?
Yeah, it's open all across the world. So it's in English and in Danish at the moment. So so it's open, and there's a free universe in there. So it's free for people to download, and you can use it. And then there's a subscription model if you want more content in there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Could you share with the audience a little about this app? Like, what does it really entail when, for example, someone downloads it for the very first time? What can they expect? And what are some benefits or ways
Sure.
people can use it to battle stress, sleep, for example?
Sure. So you download the app and you have different categories. The app is really intuitive, so it will guide you through these questions. So asking you, what is your biggest concern at the moment? And you should really feel not what others might think were your biggest problem, but you should really feel inside, what is the thing that is taking up the most space emotionally for me at the moment? So when people are doing that, they will be asked just two really simple questions, and then they will have different sessions that they can play. It's sound files, so you just sit down, relax, and you will be guided through the session.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So it's like a series of questions.
The first is just a series of questions that you answer, but we didn't want a long we didn't want like 10 questions and then maybe be guided in the right direction. So we have a few questions, but normally if you really feel, what is my biggest emotional issue at the moment, and you have to do that work beforehand, of course, then you will really benefit from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you seen as an organization a rise in the number of subscribers over the pandemic?
Yeah, we actually did. We actually did. I think that's been a huge need for this, also because people couldn't get out, and there's been a lot of things where people have been more stressed out, I think, during this pandemic. And actually we have been looking into the numbers here with the vaccines.
Yeah.
And we looked into some numbers from Harvard Medical School, where they stated that around 25% of the adults in the US has some kind of anxiety towards needles. And they estimate that around 17% at some point will say no to a vaccination because of that. And we found that like very disturbing and concerning. So in the app, we made that session. We have a session where you can work with your fear of needles. So we made that free for everybody so that everybody could go in there and work with that to, to give something to the community in these really difficult times.
That's incredible, Sophie. And this is really important work that you're all doing.
Yeah, we we think so too. We think so too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what is the future plans of this organization? What's next?
Well, what's next? At the moment, we are hosting some sessions on Clubhouse as well, and to give more. Sorry about that. Was a text message coming in. Yeah, to give some of that peace of mind to people out there, and also to have this openness and this connection with the people listening to the session, um, as we have talked about as well. It's the first step is to talk about these things. So the first step is to talk about mental health, to acknowledge that you can have a bad day, or you can have something to work with, or that this is actually something important. It's as important as your body, as your physical body. So we're doing that at the moment, and that's really rewarding. It's really a good thing. Yeah. And then we're just working on, we've been working with hospitals as well, with the nurses there, because they've been under a huge pressure as well during the last year and a half. So working with some nurses as well, to give this de-stress and calming sessions for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Could you share with the audience, Sophie, a little about what is the process like for someone in Germany? Every country has a different method, so to say, to access professional mental health support. Just to create awareness here, what does that process look like for people in Germany?
Actually, in Germany, I'm located in Denmark, but here now this is app based, so it's app based therapy. But in Denmark, you would go through your doctor normally, and doctors in Denmark can't yet prescribe apps. They can do that in Germany. I don't know if that was why you said that,
Yeah.
but it's that's on the rise in Germany. So that you have so that you have to apply to get into these programs where you be refunded by the state when you buy an app that can help you with something. It could be like physiotherapy as well. With your body, it could be these mental health issues as well. So I know that is that's on the rising in Europe. I think that Australia has done different trials with that already, where they tried 5 different apps, and the one for the mental health, the one that had some mindfulness sessions, meditation sessions, that went really well. So that was very well used and had a good documented effect. So, and more than what you would otherwise maybe believe, like stop smoking app, or weight loss app, or these kind of things that you would maybe think that would have a bigger impact. But actually they showed that these mental health apps had a big impact. So I know that that's on the rise, for sure. In Denmark, we're still working on that. We have already done a trial with Aarhus University Hospital showing that the app has a significant and positive effect when it's used. So that's already a big step towards towards this being able to be prescribed by the doctors in Denmark.
That's amazing. And that's so good to hear, Sophie. It's incredible how different countries are in different phases when it comes to progress in the mental health systems. And I do apologize. I didn't mean to say Denmark. I was thinking Germany. Our last speaker was from Germany, and that's why I just got confused. I was so into the conversation, but I really appreciate you correcting me there. This is incredible. I think the difference, I still feel like we're slightly getting there here in Canada, but we're not there yet. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing a change in younger mental health professionals that are recommending apps. These are not even, I would say, even physicians. When you go to your family doctor, they're more inclined nowadays to ask you about your holistic health versus here's some medication, take this, it's going to make you feel better, right? But that progress is very, very slow. But we're definitely getting there. What steps, Sophie, would you recommend or you would like to see us as a community that we can take to help people, support people, and encourage people to seek help or resources? For example, the app.
I think that the first thing is really to see it as a first step, not to see it as that it's completely that it's a mountain that you have to climb, because you always have to take that first step. So sometimes we have people in the app saying, hi, so I'm completely stressed out, I want a new job, and I want to lose weight, and I want to stop smoking, and I have a phobia for flying. Can I solve that right now? And it's, you have to take one step at a time and really feel what is the most important thing to you emotionally right now, and not take into consideration what other people might think is the most important right now, but what you feel is the most important right now.
Love it. Thank you so much, Sophie. So what we're going to do next, because we have 20 minutes left, is we're going to do a rapid fire where I ask you a series of questions, and whatever comes to your mind, you share with the audience.
All right.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's do it. What are 3 tips you can share with someone who's dealing with a mental health issue?
Take it seriously. I would say seek help if you need that, and as you said, if it's somebody is struggling with the mental health issues, and then share it, because I believe that we have to share it. I believe that we have to talk about it. Like these conversations here, I think they're really important because it opens up a room.
Well said. Well said. Okay, what is the one thing that you do as an act of self-love for yourself when you are having an off time?
If I can't sleep, it's the app for sure. Even though I'm working there, it's for sure the app. Otherwise, it would be to take just 5 minutes to myself and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So if you had a mic and the entire world could hear you, what is that one message you would like to leave for everybody that can hear you?
That's difficult. One message for everybody. Oh, be kind.
Beautiful. Be kind. Yes, love it. All right. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
This is more difficult than the questions my kid asked me. If I could have one superpower, oh, I don't know. I have to pass that.
You can think about it. Any superpower. Maybe it could be something to do with the work you do too.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, maybe invisible, so I could go into those those where the action is happening. So where the people with the power and for dealing with these things, for instance, with how you can prescribe apps. Those people I would like to, push a little bit to make them see that we can do something really good here.
How incredible is that? You're still thinking about the people. I love it. Okay. What is the one book that you can read that makes you shift from where you are to feeling better or leaves you inspired, motivated?
Um, I think that would be more maybe writing, writing to get around those thoughts. I always feel that it helps to write things down if you're in a place where you're locked or something like that. And I feel it helps to get around that. It's another way of how can you say of putting words in those thoughts that you can have.
Oh my God, I love it. Love it. All right. As we're wrapping up today, Sofie, what are you grateful for today?
Oh, I'm grateful for being here. I've been looking forward to it. It's so it's amazing, and I love what you're doing. I love these rooms you're opening up. I love to hear the personal stories, the way that people are dealing with it, all the wonderful initiatives that are out there. When you look at it, then it's amazing how many people are doing so much work that seems really powerful and can be empowering to the people out there. It's just to grab those gold mines out there, I think. And then of course the sun is shining here. It's not always in Denmark, so I'm grateful for that too.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. And Sophie, where can people find you if they'd like to further this discussion with you?
Where they can find me, they can download the app and they can always write there. It's actually often me writing back if you write in there. And if you want to follow the company, you can do it on Instagram, on Facebook. You can go to LinkedIn. I'm there too. So there's lots of ways to connect. Also, if you have anything where you would like to do a collaboration or a place where you can see that the app could be helpful, then please just contact us. We're always happy to make new collaborations. Yeah.
Amazing. Sounds excellent. And for the audience, you did mention that you are also on Clubhouse. Is the organization on Clubhouse or are you hosting those rooms under
No, it's
Clubhouse?
me. Yeah, I'm hosting the rooms together with my coworker Laura, and we're doing it in a club called Two Broke for Therapy, and we
Okay.
do that almost every day around the same time. So you can look me up or search for HelloMind, and you should find either one of the rooms or me or Laura.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sophie, for sharing your time with us today. I'm very excited to get to know you better, get to know the app better. I'm going to definitely download it myself. So I'm going to reach
Do
out
that.
to you and share
Yeah,
my feedback as well. Well, this is incredible. Do you
love to hear.
know what our logo stands for?
No, I have a good friend who's deaf, so I was actually thinking that was a sign language thing, but I'm not sure. Can
Yeah,
you
you're
imagine?
right. In American Sign Language, this in a circle, when
Yeah.
you go around, that actually means together.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
And our vision at Reach Out Together is to heal the world together, community by community, literally conversation by conversation, just like we did here today. And I'm very, very grateful for you once again for joining us today, sharing your time and your message. It's very, very important. And I do believe collaboration is the way forward. Like you said, there's so many initiatives out there. There are resources out there. It's about promoting them and coming together.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you.
Love it. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to share with the audience as we wrap up today?
No, just thank you. And thank you for being together here.
We really appreciate it. Thank you so much to the entire team at Reach Out Together Foundation. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Today is the last episode of season 2, and we have worked very diligently every week to launch these episodes, launch these conversations, to break cultural stigma and encourage outreach for professional help and other supports. And it truly means a lot to me that you're all a part of our foundation and growing together. Let's continue to reach out together for better mental health.
I agree on that. Thank you.
Thank you.